To have a man is to settle. Like, they're not perfect beings. They're actually far from perfect.
Halle Bailey and Keke Palmer show you why dating down is dangerous. And when women say that, we sound entitled, but the biggest thing I'm scared of is a man's insecurities, what he does when he's insecure. The dark side of a man's emotions, his shadow, is his least favorite place to be. He wants to be in control. He wants to feel masculine. He wants to feel more powerful. And I'm scared of what happens when he doesn't feel that.
To have a man is to settle. It's just because they're men. It's just the fact that they're men. To have a man is to settle. Like, they're not perfect beings. They're actually far from perfect. They're very imperfect. Women are more perfect than.
You're gay. I think that's just the video. You're gay. If you feel that strongly, you need to be with a woman. And I'm not saying, oh, if you don't like men, you must like women. No, that just sounds really gay. You should be with the perfect person for you. The perfect person is a woman. I think you're just gay.
To have.
Actually, no. It's not that the way y'all try to like turn everything around that women say about men, right? And try to weaponize it against women is hilarious. When men say the things that men say and the women say, oh, you guys are probably gay, there's actually like historic context. There's historic evidence to support what they're saying. Because when men hate women, a lot of times the men who like go out of their way to be extremely misogynistic, they're usually overcompensating for something else. And that something else oftentimes is that they're fucking DL. Right? Now, I don't think that anything this woman said would lead me to believe that she is gay. I think that what she said was just that men are such a risk to women, and women are hold on, let me start it one at a time. Men are such a risk to women that inherently women have to settle to be with a man, because in the vast majority of cases, if a woman gets with a man, she is going to end up being harmed in some way, shape, or form, emotionally, physically, economically, financially, whatever you want to say, right? She is going to be harmed in some way, shape, form, or fashion. Therefore, if she decides to get with a man, in essence, she is settling. Listen again.
To have a man is to settle. It's just because they're men. It's just the fact that they're men. To have a man is to settle. Like, they're not perfect beings. They're actually.
I think that's the thing that threw him off, is because she said they're not perfect beings. And she said women aren't perfect either, but she said women are more perfect than men are. Women are more closer to perfection than men are. Now, I would get rid of the word perfection because we don't even understand what perfection is. I will say that, I would replace the word perfection with human. Women are way closer to humanity, to being a human than men are. So you have this dichotomy that exists in a relationship where a woman is a human and a man isn't. I don't know how else to say it. Like, you have like a human in a relationship with a non-human entity in a relationship. Who do you think is going to end up being harmed? You see what I mean? The robot or the human? Robots don't have feelings, so it's hard to hurt a robot's feelings. I just got done talking about how men are not more logical, more rational, or anything like that, or less emotional. We're just sociopaths. So you get into a relationship with a sociopath, and most men have sociopathic tendencies, specifically when it comes to women. And boom, that creates a toxic environment for women. And what that sounds like, in essence, is a woman has to settle to be with a man, because she can never be with a man. She can never find a man that is as human as she is. Lastly, let me say this. The only reason why women aren't humans is because of men. So even whatever problems you would want to say exist within women, it is because of men that those problems exist to begin with. They are also socialized by men as well. But even through all of that, women are still way closer to humanity and to realizing their humanity than men are.
far from perfect. They're very imperfect. Women are more perfect than
You're gay.
Yeah, that just hurt his feelings. He just got his feelings hurt, and that was his reaction. Men need to understand what women are actually saying when they talk about women are settling. I've said this a million times. Only women settle. Only a woman can settle for a man. A man can never settle for a woman. It's impossible. It's impossible. I'm tired of you guys. Settling is not you think you deserve to be with Coco Jones. You think that you think you deserve Ari Lennox. You know what I mean? like you think you deserve like the most beautiful woman on the planet, right? Most beautiful. You think you deserve the most beautiful, or at least access to the most beautiful women on the planet. But if you don't get that, then you're settling for anybody else. You think you deserve a slave. You think you deserve a genie. You think you deserve somebody that's going to grant your every wish. You don't get that, you're settling. That's not settling. The expectations that men have for women are wildly, I would call them inappropriate. Would be the best way I can describe it. It's inappropriate. The expectations that men have for women are just, they're nuts. They're bananas. But the expectations that women have for men make perfect fucking sense.
Why do women today expect so much more from men than women did generations ago? That's a good question. I assumed it was because women are more independent and they know it'd be better to stay single than have a partner with no capacity or desire to meet the basic needs that any relationship requires to survive. What? I thought we were talking about expectations. Right. Feels like we're gonna need the clipboard for this one. Where are you hiding clipboards? Okay, hit me with some unreasonable expectations. Okay. Well, you know as well as I do, they're expecting so much more emotional garbage from us now. Okay. Women want the bare minimum levels of intimacy and connection. What else? They're always complaining about the mutual chores and the domestic labor. Listen, I don't care if the dishes get done. Okay. Equality and shared responsibility. Anything else? Men were just more free back in the day. If they wanted to go to the bar, they went to the bar. It didn't have to be a big deal. Okay. Women don't want to be neglected or overlooked anymore. So needy. We can't even like and follow half-naked pictures of models online without getting an earful about it. Women want a partner with integrity that they can actually trust. And don't even get me started if, God forbid, we have a fight together. Oh. She wants us to take turns speaking, trying to understand, validate, and empathize with each other's experience. I'm sorry, what? Oh my gosh, women want mutual respect. What has this world come to? She wants me to set aside time in the day to talk to her about my day and my feelings and stuff. Basic communications.
My wife is really big on that. And she always comes home and like asks forever. And I've really just started to notice it like within the last few years. But she comes home and she's always like, "How was your day?" And like she's genuinely interested in like how my day went. And when I started to notice it was because she would ask my son all the time, like, what was the peak in the pit of your day? That was like her thing. She still asks him like, what was the peak in the pit of your day? And he was like, oh, no. And he doesn't want to talk about it too, but I'm glad that she's doing that to him. Like looking at it now, I'm like, oh yes, he'll be way more, way better with expressing himself and having these conversations with his woman in the future because he's doing it now. She's not doing it for that reason. She's doing it because she's genuinely interested in it. But a benefit, right? Is that when he gets older, he won't be like me, where I'm like, oh, yeah, that was cool. Yeah. How was your day? It was fine. I could have the worst day ever. Yeah, it was cool. Whatever. Yeah, almost got fired a couple times. But what? How did you almost get fired? Man, don't worry about it. It was a whole thing. Somebody was stealing from the break room and they thought it was me, and it wasn't me. Come to find out, whatever. Yeah, I broke down in my car because but it is what it is. You know what I mean? Like, that's how we just don't want to have those conversations, right? But yeah, women are and these are like when you, as an adult, I'm thinking about this and I'm like, yeah, this is like bare minimum level of communication, right? And I also, in return, in turn, had to become more patient and and I like to listen to my wife's day now. Like, you know what I mean? Like now it's like she tells me about her day and I'm like, oh, what happened with you? And I'm like, damn, that's crazy. Whatever it is, right? And we're just having that conversation. She needs that at the end of the day. But it's like I went so long not being like that. And I would just come home, and if I wanted to talk about my day, I would. Definitely sometimes I would want to vent, and I would, dump all this shit I had stored up in me onto her, and she would help me navigate it and all that stuff. But rarely did I ever reciprocate that. And that's just something that I had to like grow into in my relationship. And these are such like bare minimum things to be in a healthy functioning relationship that it's almost embarrassing to have to think about the amount of times that I went not doing that, right? But it's also wild to listen to men fight against these ideals, because everything this man just said, it's like, what? How could you not want this in a relationship? And how, like, that these are things that are like where these wants and desires and needs are being deemed crazy by men. Like, she's asking for too much. Their expectations are too high. That's literally what's going on.
Skills. She wants me to hug her instead of just groping her. I'm sorry, beggars can't be choosers. I believe they call that one affection. I just don't get it. I don't understand how you can't see how unfair it is for men out here. Yeah, I'm seeing something all right. I think we're the problem.
Oh my God, just end it off on that. Yeah, I think we're the, no, I don't think we're the problem. We are the problem. It is us. Damn, that last part, the groping part, damn. So many things men do, just so cringy. And this is where the whole concept of dating down comes into play, right? Because women are settling for men. And then when you look at how that actually plays out for the women who do date down, how can you blame women for not wanting to settle for a man?
Halle Bailey and Keke Palmer show you why dating down is dangerous. And when women say that, we sound entitled, but the biggest thing I'm scared of is a man's insecurities, what he does when he's insecure. The dark side of a man's emotions, his shadow, is his least favorite place to be. He wants to be in control. He wants to feel masculine. He wants to feel more powerful. And I'm scared of what happens when he doesn't feel that. Many of us are. That's where the control comes from. And it's such a dissociation because their perceived strength, innate strength, and innate power over us causes them to lash out when they feel not in control, which means I don't trust you to feel insecure because you don't know how to handle it.
That's very interesting. When men feel insecure, that is when they are at their most dangerous, right? And especially in a relationship, because when you have people close to you that are vulnerable, now you actually have access. You actually have the ability to hurt people around you. It's way easier. It's different when you feel insecure and you live by yourself. You're an incel. You're blocked off. You're locked off from the world, whatever the case may be. It's different. But when you are in a home with people, kids, women, oh man.
And I've seen, obviously, there's different versions of this. Like, I've been in relationships where men are insecure and then they just, like, make you feel like shit. They don't smash your face against a wheel. It manifests differently.
They smash her emotions against the wheel, though. You know what I mean? Like, but it ends up playing out similarly because women internalize it and then they end up becoming sick and mentally unhealthy and physically unhealthy too. So, like they said, like the book famously wrote, or the author wrote in that book, The Body Keeps Score. Yeah, that's a real thing, right?
But it never manifests well. Almost never. Almost never have I seen a man in a really like deep way handle insecurity without projection to the woman that is closest to him. Mm-hmm. I think it's something you have to do a lot of work to not do. And because of that, the safest option is to pick the man that's happy with himself. You have to look pretty hard.
Hard as hell. Good luck with that one, because men are miserable. Even the perceived happy men that you think got everything, they still miss. Look at DDG. I'll take DDG for an example. That because we're talking about him right now. What is his like? What is his like? One of his most viral videos right now is him like talking about, I'm tired of being humble. 80,000. What? And all that. Like, why do you have to floss on? Like, that's what makes you feel better. You having access to private jets doesn't make you happy. You flossing on dudes does. You stunting on the working class, that's the thing that actually brings you the happiness. So are you really happy? You being able to go where you want to go, when you want to go, that's not the thing that brings you the joy, though. You see what I mean? Like, that's crazy.
And a lot of times you end up finding a mask of someone who's putting on a show.
Yep.
It's a whole different video. These are concrete examples of seeing a star and seeing the man jealous of her light and what he does to put it out. These are concrete examples you can point to and show this is the jealousy. This is where he was complaining about, oh, she won't let me see my kid. It's all her fault. Go to court, go to court. No, I don't want to go to court. I don't want to go to court. And sure, his fans are saying, oh, innocent till proven guilty. I don't believe her story, yada, yada. They're going to do that because, like, I guess they want to be streamers without accountability, or like they see themselves in him. Stay away from those people too. But just pay attention to the way men behave when they feel insecure, specifically regarding work, status, career, all these things. Because sometimes what is born and bred of the insecurity and lack of control and the ways that they seek to gain control literally are dangerous.
That was well said. That was 100% exactly what happens. Exactly what happens when men become insecure, when men feel like they're losing grip and they're losing power, especially when men thought they had power in a relationship with a woman and then let the woman start to like shake up out of that shit. Oh my God. That's when he becomes his most dangerous a lot of times.